Indian armed forces say that altogether 9 sites have been targeted, that they haven't hit any Pakistani military facilities.
Just received confirmed reports that India has attacked civilian targets, including a mosque and residential accommodation on 5 locations in Pakistan. And as per the initial reports, there are casualties, including women and children. The detailed damage assessment is being done.
जी मैं आपको ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि अब से कुछ देर पहले हिंदुस्तान ने पाकिस्तान में मस्जिद सुभानुल्लाह, भावलपुर, अहमदपुर ईस्ट के इलाके में, कोटली के पास और मुजफ्फराबाद में फजा से मिसाइल दागे हैं।
9 मकामात पे अटैक किया है। मौलाना मसूद अजहर का मदरसा है जिसके बारे में कहा जा रहा है कि भावलपुर में वहां पे हमला किया गया।
भारत ने पाकिस्तान और पीओके के 9 आतंकी ठिकानों पर टारगेटेड स्ट्राइक की और इनकी तस्वीरें सामने आ गई।
तो दोस्तों, ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के नाम से इंडिया ने आज रात को पाकिस्तान में एक ऑपरेशन लॉन्च किया, जिसके बदले में पाकिस्तान के 9 जगह को जो है मिसाइल हिट किया गया है। और कश्मीर में अभी थोड़ी देर पहले पाकिस्तान का F-16 जो है वो क्रैश कर गया है और पाकिस्तान के अंदर एक कयामत सी ढा गई है आज रात को।
India says justice has been served. They accuse you of being behind the Pahalgam attack, and they say they have responded. Do you believe now a line can be drawn in the sand?
I think India will now face Pakistan's very fierce response.
हम लाते हैं टॉक शोज और अनलिमिटेड एंटरटेनमेंट सिर्फ YouTube पर। अगर आपने अभी तक हमारा चैनल सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो अभी सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकॉन को क्लिक करके हमारी लेटेस्ट वीडियोस के बारे में अपडेट जानें।
On a couple of points, Mr. Atola Tarar, you said that you've already received images of women and children who have been injured. This attack took place roughly about an hour or so ago. Will you be taking international and local journalists to the sites? Because in the past, when Pakistan has made such claims, they haven't allowed any journalists.
I'll stop you right there. I had planned to take them tomorrow morning. We had a plane ready. We had reached out to journalists. We had a confirmed itinerary, a confirmed plan to go to Bahawalpur tomorrow. And I was supposed to fly to Bahawalpur at 7 a.m. in the morning. And at around right after midnight, India has carried out these attacks. So we were going to Muridke, we were going to Bahawalpur, and we were taking 35 journalists with us, including foreign and local journalists. So I was just preparing for the visit tomorrow. As I had visited the LOC, we were going to Bahawalpur, and we had to visit this exact place. And the journalists were already ready for the journey. So I think this has been a very, very I think unfortunate step by India. We condemn it. We are responding, but to target civilian population, it's extremely unfortunate.
Just to point out, Minister, the Indian armed forces say that altogether 9 sites have been targeted, that they haven't hit any Pakistani military facilities.
ये वीडियो देखकर आप समझ सकते हैं कि भारत ने किस तरह से पाकिस्तान पर करारा हमला बोला है। तस्वीरों में आपको दिखाई दे रहा होगा कि एक फोन का कैमरा ऑन है और अचानक से कुछ लोग आपको बाइक पर दिखाई देते हैं और पीछे से अल्लाहू अकबर के नारे सुनाई देते हैं और इसी बीच होता है एक भीषण धमाका।
These are terrorist camps that they are hitting.
Let me make it very clear, there are no terrorist camps in Pakistan. Pakistan is a victim of terrorism. We are fighting the terrorists in our western regions, on our western borders. We are the frontline state against terrorism. We've laid down 90,000 lives in this war against terrorism. India, on the other hand, when we had the Jafar Express hijacking, an intense hijacking incident, India did not even condemn it, let alone express some concern about that incident. So India has been sponsoring terrorism by assassinating Sikhs in US, in Canada, in Australia. We captured a spy by the name of Kulbhushan Yadav, who's a commissioned naval officer.
Can I just point out to you, On my program just a week ago, your defense minister, Khwaja Asif, admitted that Pakistan has for decades had a policy of funding, backing and using terrorist groups as proxies in the country. In fact, in 2018, President Donald Trump cut military aid to Pakistan because he accused Pakistan of playing a double game. So when you say there are no terrorist camps in Pakistan, that is going against what General Pervez Musharraf has said, what Benazir Bhutto has said, what your defense minister said just a week ago. In fact, what Bilawal Bhutto said to me a few days ago, he said that terrorism and funding and backing terrorist organizations has been and was part of Pakistan's history.
Post 9/11, let's talk about post 9/11 scenario. And let me be very clear. Post 9/11, Pakistan was the frontline state, and we still are the frontline state in eliminating terrorism. You see, when we are the guarantors of world peace, because we are a wall between the terrorists and the rest of the world. I would like to invite you to Pakistan to come and see the site.
I have been to Pakistan, sir, and we know that Osama bin Laden was also discovered in Abbottabad in Pakistan. So these accusations on Pakistan, including your defense minister making the admission, is there, and that is why part of the reason...
What the defense minister was referring to, I think he's been misinterpreted. You see, there was a Soviet invasion back in the 80s, and obviously we were countering the Soviet invasion at that point in time. That's part of history. And we were allies of the US. So post 9/11, the scenario changed completely. And Pakistan made a lot of sacrifices. Pakistan is still laying down lives against terrorists. Even today in Balochistan, there was a terrorist attack. We lost 7 soldiers. So you see, Pakistani politicians, Pakistani soldiers, Pakistani officers, Pakistani military, Pakistani police, they've been giving numerous sacrifices. So there's no question at all, madam, of having terrorist camps in Pakistan.
That contradicts Western intelligence, the State Department. There have been many, but I just want to focus you on this particular incident, sir. How will Pakistan now respond?
You see, let me just conclude the previous argument by saying that when we captured this wanted terrorist on the Afghan border, President Trump, in his State of the Union address, actually appreciated Pakistan's efforts in the war against terrorism and how Pakistan is dealing with these terrorists, how we are capturing them, how we are going after them, how they are being eliminated.
Up until a few years ago, sir, Pakistan was on a grey list of states sponsoring of terrorism just a few years ago. So I know you want to take this back to the 1980s, but the point is that this is something that Pakistan has long been accused of, and that's why India has pointed the finger of blame on Pakistan for, sir. So, we don't have evidence of that. We're still waiting for information to emerge. I know you're telling me this, but we don't have clarity.
I will send you images. I will appreciate if you can run those images on your television.
Yes, once we've verified any images that come through, because of course we are still in the fog of war. There is still information coming through.
These images are being received from hospitals in Bahawalpur. And as a Minister for Information, I occupy a seat of responsibility. I've taken an oath, and I will give you correct and verified information, which you can also verify from your independent sources.
And can you understand, Minister, why India would point the finger of blame on Pakistan for what happened in Pahalgam on the 22nd of April, because of the long accusations against Pakistan for backing and funding and giving sanctuary to terrorist organizations, including Lashkar-e-Taiba, and this group, the Resistance Front, is believed to be a splinter group of Lashkar-e-Taiba, and they are the ones who claimed responsibility for what happened on the 22nd of April in Kashmir.
You see, Pakistan is fighting this war against terrorism, and no group has claimed any responsibility. And this area is a good 200 kilometers from the Pakistani line of control, this Pahalgam area. And you see, the FIR, the first information report by the Pahalgam police, was registered within 10 minutes of the incident.
India has pointed the finger of blame because of your country's history and links with different terrorist organizations, which, as I said, in the last Trump administration, they cut military aid. Your country was on a grey list for a number of years, including just a few years ago. Osama bin Laden was discovered near a military base in Pakistan in quite an affluent area. US Navy SEAL Special Forces conducted that operation without telling Pakistan, who were their allies at the time, working with them in the war in Afghanistan, because they couldn't trust the Pakistani defense and intelligence and military establishment. And so because of Pakistan's reputation in this area, that is why Indian officials have said, based on the information they have, they've pointed the finger of blame on Pakistan because the Resistance Front, a splinter organization linked to Lashkar-e-Taiba, which is linked to the ISI in Pakistan, is believed to be behind this attack.
I deny these allegations completely, and I don't agree with your view, because we in Pakistan, our 4 generations have fought terrorists. Even now in Balochistan, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, we are fighting terrorists day and night. Our western region, our western borders, all over, Pakistan is facing terrorist attacks every second week. If you're talking about the history, the Soviet invasion, the Cold War between the US and the Soviet Union at that point in time, well, that was a different story. But
I was talking about 2009 when Osama bin Laden was there, or 2021 when the Taliban returned to power in Afghanistan. It was with the support of Pakistan that they were able to do that.
That's slightly unfair, because Osama bin Laden was not being harbored by the Pakistani authorities or the
They were near a military base. I mean, you have very strong intelligence.
No, that was very far away from the site where he was recovered. The point is that without Pakistani intelligence, right now, these ongoing operations, they would probably fail. And I think President Donald Trump has made himself very clear in the State of the Union address, ran away from that investigation and resorted to these attacks.
India says justice has been served. They accuse you of being behind the Pahalgam attack, and they say they have responded. Do you believe now a line can be drawn in the sand?
I think India will now face Pakistan's very fierce response.
तो आपको ये वीडियो कैसा लगा कमेंट बॉक्स में जरूर लिखिए। इस वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए, शेयर कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलिए आपके चैनल EFC A2Z को। मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में। जय हिंद।